Hi everyone, welcome to episode 218 of Millennial Movie Talk. I am your host Alex, and I'm joined by Michael,
Hello.
and I'm joined by Brayden,
Hello.
and I'm joined by Chris. Oh,
Uh,
that's a bit of fun. He's not here.
yeah. This is just the start of a lack of Christian because Christian is going
Don't believe in
to
God.
the land of the rising sun. Chris is going on a trip to Japan soon.
Yep.
And we're hoping to be able to get some content out of him while he's there. But we'll see. Chris doesn't make it to the show at the best of times, so we'll see if he remembers to make
Now he's just
anything
got called out. He just
while he's
straight
there.
called him out.
Hey, I can call him out. I did all the watching homework that I was meant to do this week for him, and now he's not here.
I didn't. I didn't watch the one thing.
I watched. I guess we'll start with that. The last couple of weeks, we've been talking a lot about Star Trek. This will just be a short little bit about that as a little.
We've gone down
button.
into a bit of a deep dive, haven't we?
We have.
What do we do?
Specifically,
Sorry, I
the
was
JJ
out. I was out then.
Specifically, the
gone.
J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. And I watched the last two. I finally got around to it. I watched Into Darkness and I watched Beyond.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed them.
Would you like better?
Which did I like better? Ooh, I feel like they're so different in their theme.
One of
and,
them's
like,
more
their
fun.
vibe. One of them's way more fun. The other one's like super brutal. Oh man, Super Blood really takes you out of it. Hey,
It's so dumb.
the second he says it, oh my god, freaking! Again, the cast of these films is perfect. Carl Urban kills it. Oh, I love him. He's so good as Bones McCoy or whatever it is. Like him as the Doctor, he's brilliant. I love him so much. I could listen to him say anything. And god damn it, man, I'm a doctor, not a pool boy.
God.
But yeah, he's great. Hey, the whole cast was bloody excellent. I loved it. And to make Christian happy, I watched the first episode, which is technically a two-parter.
I did too.
Of Star Trek Next Generation.
I did, but I don't remember a lot, only because I wasn't paying 100% attention. I just know that people kept beaming in and out.
Man, I tell you what, it may have been because I was watching it quite like as I was going to bed, but yeah, the last 20 minutes of that I do not remember because I was definitely coming in and out of sleep at that point. But overall, I find the vibe interesting. It was cool actually seeing Picard be Picard because I have never seen Picard in anything. I think the crew is interesting off that first episode. I don't get what's going on with the like psychic person.
The lady?
Yeah, with the big frizzy hair.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. And I assume that they explain that at some point, but they really don't. Like in the first episode.
You get thrown into it.
Yeah, they're really just like, hey, here we go. We'll explain as we go. And the only person you really get an introduction to is Data. He's great already. Like one episode in, I find him to be very compelling, and I understand why people like him.
So,
and obviously Jonathan Frakes out here, babyface Jonathan Frakes. He hasn't got his beard yet, but he's fun as well.
So last week, we all know that Christian brought in Exhibit A, and into the court of MMT, he brought in evidence to try and, have a gotcha moment on Alex.
Yeah. It's all about the blood.
We remember it's all about the blood, and we remember this visually and specifically, don't we, team?
Yes.
Yes.
And
now, I wish Christian was here for this.
Yeah, so do I.
Because I would like to bring in Exhibit B from Alex.
Oh, here we go. He'll get the screen working in a sec.
Yeah, apparently we can't see anyone. Apparently we're all gone. No, kidding. Here we are.
There's Alex. Oh, there's me.
All right. let's
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
get this started because I want to bring in.
Also, straight up, Mickey from Doctor Who. I was happy to see him in a role, and he didn't last very long.
So
But it was good to see him in a flick.
I've muted the audio here, just because I don't really need to listen to it.
Yep.
But here we have Khan being introduced, right?
Yep.
Now he's going to pop up any second, I promise you. There he is.
There he is.
So would you say this is an introduction to Khan, Brayden?
I would say this is the first shot featuring Khan and is very much an introduction to Khan.
Now, Brayden,
This was a thought that I had while watching it.
Now, Brayden, specifically, Christian's argument last week was
Yes.
Khan's. If I don't want to paraphrase, so make sure I've just got this right. Quoting Christian here, Khan's blood is introduced before Khan.
Yes, I believe 100%
that was
is
a quote.
exactly what Chris said.
So the timestamp you can see in the corner here because of the expertly placed photos and timestamp is 12 minutes
pre-planned.
and
12 and a half
37
minutes.
seconds, right? 12 and a half minutes into the film, we get our first shot of Khan, and he speaks.
Yep, he
Just
even has a line.
Just want to introduce.
It's not even just a shot of Benedict Cumberbatch as a human being.
Correct. And
it is
now
a full-on line.
we've jumped to 16 minutes and 50 seconds into the film. So, Brayden, would you say, from your knowledge of how time works, this is after that first introduction to Khan?
I mean, Star Trek does have a little bit of time wibbly wobbliness to it, but I do believe that in our human world, 17 minutes is much further along than 12 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now
I am going to propose one question to this situation.
Yes,
Is
Michael,
he
floor's open.
in that 12 and a half minute timestamp? Is he actually verbally introduced, or are we just visually introduced to him?
No, he talks. Well, here's the thing, Michael. We don't find out he's Khan we don't find out his name is Khan until halfway through the film.
Man, it would be wild if, like, 12 minutes in, the first shot of him is just like, "Hi, my name's Khan."
So now
Interesting.
I'm not
maybe
here.
I'm just going to say that maybe that's where he's coming from, but with your it is damning evidence that
It's
Khan is in fact introduced before the blood.
And I'm not here to be like, this proves that magic blood is stupid. I'm just here to prove the credibility of Christian and his evidence.
We're knocking Christians.
It is being brought into question. We may have to
I want the
delve a little
jury.
bit.
I want the jury to know that, how can we believe or how can we side with what Christian thinks when he's clearly been proved not to be credible? He has brought in evidence into this courtroom, and he has falsely identified timestamps and sequences in which this evidence appears.
Now, Alexander here is just a simple South Australian lawyer.
Now, I'm not saying my opinion about Khan's magic blood is right, as in it's stupid. I'm not here to say that. We'll let the court of public opinion get that one. It already has, but we're not here to talk about that. I'm just here to destroy Christian's credibility.
And I believe you've done that very well.
And I'm
I think
disappointed he's not here.
I know. I'm very disappointed.
I feel like we'll have to wait until Chris returns for some rebuttals, but until then, I guess court is
because this has been with me for a few days now.
Yeah.
I watched this. I went back. I went back the next day after we did that show just to have a look, and boy howdy was I shocked when.
I'm glad that you went and did that because I watched it like properly, and I remember watching it, and at the start I was like, "Hey, wait a second, that's not what Chris said."
Yeah.
So yeah, oh man,
like let's be fair. Christian's point of, hey, the blood's introduced early on in the film, that still stands. But I'm just saying that his credibility in this courtroom is now
it's defunct.
It's diminished. It's tainted. It
is tainted. This episode will therefore be known as Christian's Taint, and with that,
I think the best thing this needs to be declared a mistrial, and it is what it is.
That's it. Alex will settle. Chris, it will be about 20,000 out of pocket though.
Yes, 20,000
I think a good apology will
20,000 battle net tokens.
20,000 or a good solid sorry.
No, just battle net tokens. We'll be fine.
Oh,
battle net.
that's so specific.
There's Fortnite tokens, guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
God damn it. Well, okay. Enough with the stuff we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. I want to hear about a new thing that's finally arrived in Australia.
But what was
and
better?
you two
But what
boys-
was better? Beyond or Into Darkness?
I think I enjoyed Beyond more.
Beyond's a bit more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was more fun.
I like the pairings.
The reveal that it's fucking Idris Elba
Yeah.
threw me for a loop. Oh my god.
The ending's a bit. We go on a bit too long.
Yeah,
we don't need to have. We don't need to
okay.
have the battle in the glass cylinder or glass box thing. I don't think we need that.
I thought that was fun. I thought him riding around on the bike with the goo that hardens up was a bit weird.
That was fun.
It was fun, but like
What
that
about
was the
them?
point
using-
where
It's
I
fun.
went, this doesn't feel very Star Trek.
What about when they play Beastie Boys to destroy the
Oh
ships?
my god.
Isn't that
Okay,
so
like,
much fun?
That was really fun. I don't know what film that thought it was in, because like that was a wild choice for this Star Trek
So
film.
fun.
But I thought that does also bookend nicely from the start of the first one. But yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I think the casting is still the best part of those movies.
Yeah, Spock and Bones is a great dynamic together.
Oh my god, Spock and Bones was great. Yes, really like humanizing each other.
Great band
which
name
was
too.
Great, Spock and Bones.
Spock and Bones.
That's a good name. But yeah. Oh, and the touching tribute to Leonard Nimoy was great.
Oh yeah, because he died, and so did Anton. They were dead by the time these got released.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about him as well. Bless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. They did a great job. Okay. I want to hear about this new thing because I'm very keen. I'm going to go see it this weekend. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this new animated film.
Well, they
Alex,
did it.
Let's not tell him. Let's just not tell
It'd be a
him.
shit show.
It'd be a terrible podcast.
It'd be a horrible choice for our
just decided
podcast.
I don't want to tell you guys what I think of anything.
So I randomly saw that Hoyts were doing advanced screenings for.
I was wondering
Turtle.
how you saw it, so I saw
Hoyts,
it pop up and I was like, "Was this a cheeky little yardy har har?"
well, funny enough, by saying that, Brayden, it's now available for the Yadi Haha. Literally.
Oh, because it's been out in America for so long.
Yeah, as I was walking out the door to go see it, I just checked my Yadi Haha site and I realized that it was available there in all of its 4K glory. And I did click the button to activate it just before I left because I'm like, if I like it a lot, I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah.
So,
and hey, this is a message to studios everywhere. One, pay your actors and writers, you fucks. Two, why are you holding off on releasing something in Australia after a month? Like, what the hell are you doing? Anyway,
the only
you guys went and saw this movie.
The only studio I condone piracy for is Disney. Pirate from Disney because they have now decided not to release any physical media in Australia. So if you don't want me,
it was such a bizarre decision.
So you clearly don't want me purchasing your movie. I will download it then. You have now given me no option.
Because especially in Australian internet, as shoddy as it is, I'm on my phone's hotspot at the moment. That's how bad it is. You want to watch something in 4K? Good luck.
Yep. So sorry, you forced my hand, Disney. Every other studio, we're fine. I'll buy your content. I'll even digitally buy your content, but not you, Disney. Not you. Okay, so we're saying that I did purchase Indy 5. That was the first one that missed out on a physical release now. Indy 5. I literally have every other Indiana Jones movie in 4K sitting on my shelf except for Indy 5.
That's rough.
So
can you import?
I can, but it's not going to be the same. They're skinnier
It'd
boxes.
also be way more expensive.
So expensive, and they're skinny boxes.
Oh, that is. What ones did you have? Because you imported one.
I got a few. I remember it was quicker for me to buy what movie was it? John Wick Chapter 2, from America and get it sent over, than to go see it in theaters because it didn't come out in Australian theaters till 6 months later.
That's right. And it was
Again,
so skinny.
a situation where why are you holding off on releasing something?
Mm-hmm. But it's only a couple months now that they hold off on releasing, just because the digital market's so crazy now. Like movies normally hit VOD like 45 days after they release in theaters, unless they're like a big film like Oppenheimer, Barbie, or Top Gun. So, but yeah, but in case of Ninja Turtles, you can buy it in America now if you're in America on VOD legally. Australia, not so much, but you can go see it in theaters this week.
Finally, I can't wait.
So it's interesting because Michael and I watched this movie, and when this movie ended, I got a message from a friend about this movie because they saw it at the exact same time we did.
Were they in the same cinema?
No, different state. They're in a different state.
Oh, okay.
And my God, could the opinions of Michael and I and this other guy could not be more different?
Ooh,
because we
Just absolute polar opposites.
I came out of this movie being like, this was maybe the most fun movie this year.
I think the movie ended, and within about 2 seconds of it ending, we looked at each other and we both pretty much went, "That was so much fun."
And halfway through the movie, I was just like, I'll watch another one of these. I'll gladly watch a sequel.
They could pull me in easily.
I think what helps is that the turtles are fantastic, and
their dynamics good.
And we don't focus on any sole turtle in this film. They're a group.
Christ.
You don't have.
They
all
each sort of have. They all talk, like, use their flaws sort of in the end. Like they all like point out, like, oh, Leo, like they joke, like, Leo, you're not being a great leader at the moment. Raph, you're being too angry. Yeah. But then in Raph, the end, they all use it to their advantage.
The only thing that maybe one of them has more to do than the others is that there is maybe Leo's got 2% more dialogue because he's constantly swooning over April.
Right.
That's it. But
that's a bit of fun.
Yeah, in terms of, and they're kids and they're great. And they're young turtles. They feel like teenagers. They
are written as teenagers. I reckon, like,
so many voice cracks.
They use Riz. They use they just use so many terms that, like, a 14-year-old just chat. Like, I genuinely sat there thinking, like, if like we were like that age sitting around talking, that's what we would sound like.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's fun for them to finally have some representation in that.
And I think that's what made it great, is because it made it feel like it, because obviously I feel like most of the stuff I've watched are all like cartoons and stuff, so it's sort of like they seemed like adults that were meant to be teenagers, but like from like the 90s, so it was all sort of
you've got like
references and stuff, but this is like new, it's modern.
I feel like the movies, when they were in the suits, they were kind of close because they sounded young and like kind of teenagers, but they looked horrifying.
That's the suits. They were great.
And then you had the Michael Bay ones,
the big CG lads.
The big CG lads, where they're meant to be teenagers, but Johnny Knoxville's voicing Leonardo. And
they're like 8'4" or something.
So it's super weird. But like what they do is, like, April's a teenager in high school. Like,
has that ever really? I guess in probably. The most recent cartoons, I think they've done a bit of that. Where they also changed the dynamic of the group a bunch, where like Raph was the leader for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things I really like with Turtles. I was talking about this with on the Hack the Dino group chat this morning, because Floppy said, I don't want to go see that cringy garbage. And I said, I just shock reacted because I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of his mouth. And it was 100% that thing of like, no, these aren't my turtles. And it's like, no, they're not. They're not meant to be.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the turtles have somehow gone from being like, there's so many Gen X franchises that have just fallen off the radar entirely and have gone into a complete obscurity. And then there's the Turtles, who every couple years reinvent themselves to be modern for the next generation, to grow up with a new set of turtles. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And from the sounds of it, that sounds like what makes this film work so well is that they're a great group of modern kids.
Yeah, I've also got to lend it. The animation is wicked.
Animation
It
looks
started, and about 10 seconds in, I was like, this gives me like Spider-Verse vibes of just like unique animation. For a movie.
It's unique. It's way more like concept art feel. It has more of a concept art feel to it than like Spider-Verse does. Which is really cool, and it lends itself well to the animation style and what they do with
that
it.
like feeling where like the backgrounds and everything are all like kind of messy and like it adds to the style.
Also, a great Debok movie.
Great Debok movie.
Ooh.
Great soundtrack. Solid cast. You've got John Cena.
The cast list is nuts.
John Cena, Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, Giancarlo Esposito, Jackie Chan, Ice Cube, Paul Rudd, Post Malone, Hannibal Buress. Who else we got? The main kid. You got Ayo Edebiri, who plays April O'Neil. She was in The Bear. She plays Sydney in The Bear.
Oh yeah.
But then you've got I think it's Mikey Abbey, Shannon Brown Jr., Nicholas Cantu, and Brandy Noon, who are the 4 young actors that play the Turtles. They all knock it out of the park. They're all a lot of fun. And that's what it is. The movie's a lot of fun. The characters are a lot of fun. Is it a groundbreaking story and plot? No, but it's a fun Turtles movie where there's a lot of fun characters. The comedy works for the most part. The Turtles themselves, they have a great chemistry and they are a lot of fun.
That sounds like all the things I need it to be.
You know,
it's just literally a fun kids movie, I guess. It is just a lot of fun.
I've just remembered so this other person that you were talking to despised it or something?
Yes, very much. 2 out of 5 they ended up. And they just said that, I don't even want to repeat it because it's just nonsense to me.
Yeah.
It just felt like I saw a completely different film.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I think you and me both gave it 4s, Choppy.
Yeah. I originally gave it 3.5 and I knocked it up to a 4.
Ooh.
Because the more I was debating with the person, the more I found myself liking it.
You started defending the movie more. You were like, hang on a second. I really enjoyed that.
So...
Well, cool. I'm very excited to check it out myself. I'm glad to hear that it's doing. How is it doing? Oh, that's a question, and it might lead into something. I don't know how prepared you are, Alex.
I'm fully. I prepare every week, and we just skip over it.
Yeah, I thought about it as I was editing the episode from last week. I was like, oh, we completely forgot to.
It gets updated every Tuesday.
How is it doing at the box office?
Would you just want to lead into this next part? Should we just do this part? All right.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right. You ready? Bang. There we are. That's my email address. That's fine. Anyway. So
know your spam to
the email address. So the leader is not Michael anymore, so we could have changed this.
There
we go. So if you can't do math, you can clearly tell that Brayden took Brayden, you've been in the lead for a few weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We just haven't done it.
We just haven't done it.
Oh my god.
So I reckon we've missed 2 weeks of it. So
yeah. So it's basically Chris's 4th with 1.5 bill. He's 5th. No, he's 4th with 1.5 bill. I'm 3rd with 1.9.
There's a 4th person who's in here.
1.9 bill, Michael's 1.4, and then Brayden's 1.5. This probably won't change too much. So
yeah, we're coming towards the end.
I literally had to you had to have something flop horribly for me to keep the lead, Brayden. Like my last 2 picks just were not it.
I like to say
I'm surprised Joyride didn't do more. Just from people liking
15 mil. Well, I probably had the best average between films. My lowest one was 63 mil, whereas
and that was a very small local indie film.
Yeah, which is very real. Like obviously, Michael got hurt by the Machine and Joyride, both not even hitting 20 mil. Christian got destroyed by the Flash.
Yeah,
as one of his big ones.
Obviously,
Indie also didn't help.
Oh my god.
Indie didn't help you at all either.
Nah, Indie didn't help me.
Do you have
but
the other
Indy
list?
still did so much more than the Flash.
Yeah.
My God.
What about the overall? Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we are.
So here we are. There's 32 here. Yeah, so 32 movies here in total. And I just kept adding ones.
Equalizer.
So Equalizer 3 came out this week and it did pretty well, but we didn't know it was coming out in summer,
Yeah.
so it wasn't on the list.
Wild.
So that
I
made
feel like it would have been a safe guess to just assume that Equalizer film would come out because I feel like there's always one coming out.
well, we didn't know. I didn't even think it was a thing then. Or it just came
Yeah.
out, or they moved it up, or whatever, or they moved it back. But anyway, so obviously Barbie's one. Oppenheimer's two. Pretty crazy that they both came out on the same day and they're 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the power of the meme, I feel. Like, I feel like Oppenheimer
Also, just
without...
the gap. I want to just talk about the gap that Barbie has on Oppenheimer, though. That's like that's a jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
think about it.
one
Oppenheimer's
of them's a lot more accessible.
Oppenheimer's
Oh, yeah.
rated R too, so you immediately lose
That is true. That is
a
true.
lot of the audience that Barbie had.
I feel like without the Barbie bump, as I'm gonna call it, like from the meme culture and everything about it, I feel like Oppenheimer probably would have been more sort of around that sort of like 4 to 5 rank.
Yeah.
If it wasn't getting more general audiences in just because of the whole Barbenheimer thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Barbenheimer movement really did it some justice.
Pretty crazy that Spider-Verse ended up at 5th. I would have thought it would have been higher.
Yeah, I definitely thought that would be higher than
I mean,
Fast
to be
X.
fair, outside of Barbie and Oppenheimer, those three I feel like were pretty like they could have been in any sort of spot within the three of themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously,
I'm surprised Mission Impossible wasn't higher.
It's because it came out the week before Barbie and
before
Oppenheimer.
Barbie, yeah.
Oh yeah,
that got hurt hard as well.
Well, here's the Flash at 12. Who would have thought the Flash made less money than that Meg?
The Flash.
Do we think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be able to jump up to the Flash?
No. Not with it being on video on demand already.
Oh, true. Yeah, that would have really hurt it already.
So
I have heard that Blue Beetle is not selling tickets though.
Yeah, Blue Beetle.
I haven't even heard anything about it. I forgot it was coming out.
I heard it was fun.
I haven't heard anything about it. The only thing I saw about it was in a comics retailers group that I'm in because of Greenlight Comics and everything. And there's a new Blue Beetle #1 comic issue coming out this week. And someone took a photo of it and said, "Oh, I hope that we sell more of this than they sold of the movie tickets." And I was like, "Oh, is it doing badly?" And then I looked and yeah.
Yeah, so Blue Beetle's sitting at 16. So not great summer for DC.
God damn.
So yeah, well, I guess that's what happens when you announce that you're destroying the
people
the
really
franchise.
just go, "Oh, I guess I don't
What's
have
the
to
point?
care
I'll
about
wait
DC
for it to come
until
out. No,
2025.
Rent it for $2 or I'll legally download it."
Yeah. I feel like that honestly, has probably affected, like, not to the extent that many other factors affected the state of the Flash, but I feel like them coming out and announcing, "Hey, this is our slate that we're doing. It starts in 2025 with Superman." And all this, like, the whole James Gunn thing coming out and being like, "This is what's coming. This is the new thing. All of these are going to be in the same universe," type thing.
Of
blah, blah,
course,
blah.
it also killed Shazam. They haven't had a single decent money maker this year.
Yeah, and I feel like part of that is because people are just like, "Oh, cool, I don't have to care about DC until 2025."
It's funny,
and people have just checked out. It's wild.
Disney are in a heap of debt too this year after, obviously, Indy not performing, Elemental kind of not performing as to what they want.
Yeah, that would have fallen well below.
Quantum Mania not performing well.
Well, I thought that definitely hurt them.
But
like, the only thing that's really held them up is Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians has been successful to them, and isn't it funny? It's the one that is the best film out of all the ones that came out this year. Like all their movies and Disney stuff. It is the best one, and yeah, people just want to see quality movies instead of CGI bullshit. So yeah, but yeah, so Disney are in the bin at the moment. I do think it's funny that the Meg.
I love that the Meg is this close to being in the top 10. That's hilarious to me.
It is.
I watched clips from the last 15 minutes of that movie. It looks awful. Like
Yeah.
the CGI.
I've seen a few clips.
It is horrendous.
Oh man, did you listen to the song?
No,
Oh my god, it's the worst.
no, if I recall correctly,
Yep.
one of the actors, the characters, sorry, in the movie, just tells one of the Megs, "No, don't attack us," and it goes, "Yeah, right." He goes, "Ah, you got a point."
Yeah, the guy with the clicker. He has a little clicking thing,
Sure.
and that was set up at the start of the film.
Oh, was it like Khan's blood?
No, not at the very start of the film. Like Chris
Was it
said.
introduced? Was his clicker introduced before him?
His clicker was introduced before you.
I'm
saw
going to
the rest
rewatch
of
the
his
Meg
body.
2. Don't careful. I will, as we've seen today in the court of MMT. I'll come after you.
He will do the research. He will follow it up and find the facts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go to clip that and send it to Christian.
Oh man, so good.
But anyway, yeah. So basically, this shows that we probably should have. One of us probably should have picked Asteroid City.
Yeah.
It was definitely on me because it was definitely on my radar, and I.
Michael, if you picked
just,
Asteroid City, you might have been closer to Brayden.
Yeah.
Because you are about 80 off him.
Yeah. Asteroid City definitely would have reeled me closer, but
yeah, it would have.
Without some of the other ones that were a bit not known or were only added in after we didn't realize they were coming out or something, I still probably would have dropped.
Would have been close.
But then again, I probably with some of the could have ended up with anyone else's sort of bottom picks as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like Strays didn't do too well.
Mm.
I just don't think anyone cared about it.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It's 2023. I don't need to see a film where they're making a dog's mouth move to make it sound like they're talking like a human being.
Oh, come on, mate. Come on, it's exactly what
They
you
already perfected that, and they had 2 cats and dogs films.
And Marmaduke.
Fucking Marmaduke. I forgot about Marmaduke.
Yeah, we all did. We all tried to.
Oh man, don't forget about Marmaduke.
He won't forget about you.
Well, I have to say, if not much else changes, thank you, Barbie. And I think this is the first ever podcast game show type thing I have ever won.
Come on, Oppenheimer.
Come on, Oppenheimer. Just
Brayden's
get some
celebrating
couple
too
more legs.
early.
Come on.
Don't call it. We're not done yet.
Yeah, well, it's a big step up, Brayden, because in the last time we did this, you didn't even cross a bill. Granted, only one of us crossed a bill. You didn't cross half a bill. So
Oh,
you didn't cross 500 mil.
half?
Yeah.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, bless.
Michael
Well,
won the last
Alex-
one. I came second.
I did spot one other thing that I want to talk about this episode. Oh, there's another thing that we'll talk about after, but that's after.
Is it about me? What'd I do?
It was no. I actually want to talk about what I believe was in 19th place on that list. I spotted it earlier.
Oh, fucking hang on, let me get the list.
There was a little film
Oh yeah.
that I did not help in its box office because I got free tickets to go see it. So I took my dad and my grandpa, and we had a wonderful time going and seeing what's his name, Blomkamp or whatever it is.
Yeah. Your tickets are still there when we went.
Oh my god, that was the funniest photo. So I went to the cinema the night before with my dad and my grandparents with these free tickets, and then Alex went to the cinema the next day, and still on the counter was the torn up tickets. They just didn't put them in the bin or anything. It looked like they'd been abducted. Like, it was very funny. Anyway, went and saw Gran Turismo, the hit PlayStation film of the The story based on a video game, but not based on a video game, based on a
Tale as old
true
as time.
story about an actual guy who, because they held an actual competition called the GT tournament or whatever it was, GT training, GT something like that. And they wanted the best Gran Turismo players from around the world to compete, and they wanted to see if they could make one of them an actual racer. And they successfully did. And this film is that hyper movie version of that. Not a lot to say about it. It was good. I actually really liked it. I guess I went in with low expectations.
Was David Harbour the best part?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. We all thought it was going to be the best part.
Yeah, he very much steals the show, 100%.
Was it weird seeing Orlando Bloom in a movie?
So okay, talk about a thing that I was not expecting to enjoy in this film. It was Orlando Bloom being in this film. It is one. It's weird to see him in a film because I feel like it's been like 10 years.
He has not been in a mainstream film
since Pirate, like 2017.
Yeah, Pirates 2017.
Wow.
He's in a show called Carnival Row.
Okay.
If we want to count that.
Never heard of it.
So he's been.
He was in some movie in 2020, but I've never heard of them.
Yeah, these aren't mainstream movies. These are these
No.
are movies that didn't even come out in theaters.
Weird little indie flicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
well,
I'm guessing it's Pirates. Yeah.
Pirates, and before that, The Hobbit. Really.
Well, I tell. Wow, forgot about The Hobbit.
Battle of the Five
I tell
Armies.
you what, Orlando Bloom crushes this role. And I was not expecting this role for him at all. And I thought it worked really well for the film. So this being a film that is basically like an advertisement for both Gran Turismo from PlayStation and Nissan in general, I was not expecting them to shit on themselves as much as they do in this film at times. Straight up, Orlando Bloom plays this absolutely like skeezy, kind of sleazy marketing guy. And it was a delight to see him be this. There's a point where like, he could throw this guy who did actually win under the bus, try and get this guy who he thinks he could market better. And you're just like, oh, dude, no, don't do that. That's so wrong. What are you doing? And of course, David Harbour stops him because he's the best.
He's our hero.
But it was great seeing Orlando Bloom in this role where he's just this sleazy marketing guy who is kind of just, he's so corporate and like is so focused on like the business that he doesn't care about like feelings very much. I thought that was actually really fun to get a character like that. But no, David Harbour does steal the show. He's the foster dad who is a real hard ass, but then turns out has a soft, squishy core and is just a super nice guy. And you can't help but love that. It's great. That guy who's in like every movie ever, but I mainly know him as the guy who says "who" at the start of Guardians of the Galaxy. That guy?
Yeah.
He plays the main guy's dad, and he does a great job as well. He's not in the film very much, but he does a great job of like setting up early on this like conflict between the father-son dynamic of like, when are you going to go out and get a real job? You're just playing video games, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, he has a scene with the main guy, and you're just like, man, you are acting real hard right now. And it's working because everyone in the room is kind of tearing up a little bit. So yeah, it was surprisingly really good. The visuals are really fun. They have a lot of fun with their camera work and mixing CGI with real footage in the way that Blomkamp does, like District 9 and I guess Chappie and all that. I haven't seen Chappie, but District 9 was great. But yeah, I highly recommend checking it out. Like when you can. I thought it felt a bit long
Ooh.
That was my only real point of
How
criticism.
long was it?
Not actually that long. It was just over 2 hours.
So many movies though. I come out of so many movies now being like these. I feel like every movie just needs to have 10 minutes trimmed from it, no matter how
Yeah.
long it
Yeah.
is.
Like, yeah, honestly, if you cut probably 10 to 15 minutes of this film, I think it would fit perfectly.
Mm.
I was just sitting there at one point and I was like, man, we are still going. This feels quite lengthy. But I had a good time. I thought it was really good. And my dad, he really enjoyed it as well. My pa loved it.
Your
My
pa
pa
loves
had
every
no-
movie.
I know he does, but like even he was like, I had no expectations going into that film. And
So
that
which
was
one
really
have you
good.
paid for a ticket?
Yeah, true. Yeah, didn't have to pay for a ticket. That's a good call.
Yeah, but no, but you
Um,
took 3 people. Which one of you didn't have to pay for a ticket? Did have to pay for a ticket.
No, so here's the thing. I had 2 double passes.
So you just had a seat
So
next to
we
you.
could have took some random stranger.
Was it a
just
packed
into the
cinema?
film. Oh no, it was an empty cinema.
Was it just you
Mind
three?
you, mind you, it was like 9:15. Like it was like the final session that they had that day.
Was it just you
Um,
three?
No, so it was the 3 of us, and then just before the film started, because we were like, we're gonna be the only people in the cinema. This is great.
It's the best when
and
you're
then-
the only 2 people in the cinema. You're the only people
Oh my
in the
god, I
cinema.
was so excited. I was like, yes, we can just talk shit the entire film. And then I didn't end up wanting to talk shit anyway because it was just good. I think my dad and I made a couple jokes to each other because, you know, it's my dad and I. So how could we not? But yeah, just before the film started, another group of like 3 or 4 people walked in. And
Boom.
we were all like, damn it. But they went and sat at the very, very back. So,
I remember
you know.
seeing the Dracula movie this year, and it was 9. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning, first session, like in a cinema in Queensland, and it was like a rating cinema, so we had like the nice recliner seats and everything.
Yeah.
We snuck in 2 breakfast gyros, which were just gyros with like tomato relish, hash browns, breakfast sausages, bacon and eggs all into a burger. Oh, no,
Okay.
burger into a gyros, and it was maybe the best thing I've ever eaten.
Wow.
Sounds
And
amazing.
and we just talked shit and watched Dracula. It's probably why I liked it so much.
Because you just had a very good experience.
Yeah.
Hey, part of the cinema experience is part of the film.
Mm.
Like, it's why we liked the D-Box. Made us like Transformers more and shit.
Yeah. Go
You know how it
Transformers.
goes. I have one final thing. If I could have 5 minutes of your time.
No, I reckon we cut him off.
I think Michael needs to talk.
Oh, we had
I-
Michael talk. Hey, we've had Michael talk
actually-
already way more this episode than we had Michael talk last episode.
Oh, I know. I do actually have new episode of
Give him the
Only
floor.
Murders.
Give him the floor.
Boom. Michael's murders.
Still in a bit of a lull, I think. Like, even looking at the IMDb ratings, the first 3 episodes were sitting around an 8. We're sort of dipping to 7.5. It's a bit...
Ooh.
Again, sort of following a bit of a formula, like, follows on from, like, the little cliffhanger lead at the last part of the episode, and then there's, like, an explanation to it that's a bit dodgy, and then we get another... Oh, it could be this person because I found this thing right at the end of the episode. Talking with Gemma after we watched it, I think she nailed it on what a bit of the problem is because we've been so disconnected from the 3. They haven't really been together at all. There's just not the podcast. Like, they just haven't done an episode of the podcast. So
No,
that's
that's
already
like-
weird because that's the show. That's the show.
That's like the most
2.
like endearing part of the show.
Yeah. 2, the other thing I find weird is we haven't dealt with any cops yet. There's been a murder, and we haven't had, like, I feel like in the first season, the whole thing of them trying to do it themselves while, like, the cops are sort of like, you guys are being really fucking sus.
Yeah, the cops were hilarious in
Yeah,
the first
but like
season.
I think the biggest part is the 3 of them haven't really been together. They're still sort of all having their own separate stories, but just like very narrowly converging. Like we get a lot with the two oldies. We get a lot like sort of they're sort of together a bit, but then Mabel's just off doing her thing and stuff. So it's just a bit disjointed because we're not getting much of the 3 together. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's
which-
the best part because like it's an odd combo, but it works so well.
Yeah, their dynamic as a threesome is unparalleled.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Look, it's still fine. I will watch the rest of the season. It's still interesting. I want to know who done it, but
Who did it? Who did it?
but it's definitely not as good as the last 2 seasons. And I don't
You heard it
think
here first.
my opinion will change on that.
Damn, they could pull out a real banger of a final episode. You never know.
They could.
But that doesn't make up for a lull in the middle of the season.
We still got 5 episodes left, with episode 6 coming out today. So
That's quite a lot of episodes.
So we're only halfway. So it's all right. Go uphill. Can go uphill.
Gotta be optimistic.
There's just like some other characters I'd rather explore, and
Ravage.
don't really want to delve into these personal lives as much.
Yeah.
Give me the more mystery. Give me the more exploring and sleuthing and.
Do I have a show for you? It is Murder, She Wrote.
My nan
You
loves
just
it.
want mystery? That's all you need.
That's all
Well,
you
guys, if I can have the floor quickly,
You can.
I haven't watched anything other than Ninja Turtles this week. I could talk
That's
to you
all he
about
wanted to
some
say.
Parks and Rec, but it is what it is.
I started watching the new season of Always Sunny as well.
Okay, good.
Watched 2 episodes so
Yes.
far.
You enjoyed?
Yes, I love the whole extra room.
Yeah, they just
That's
find
fun.
that. Yeah.
And the nuts. And fucking Mac with the nuts. I reckon it's from blowing too much. It's good stuff. I enjoy that a lot.
All right, Brad. What do you want to talk about?
Well, very quickly, I have also not checked out Ahsoka yet because I'm still watching Rebels. I'll catch up and get there soon. Maybe by the time the season finishes, I might actually be able to talk about it.
Probably not.
I want to see if we can have 5 minutes in the ring. Because we had a event.
What type of event,
Payback.
Brayden? What type of
We
event?
had a wrestling
We
entertainment
had a
event.
PLE.
A PLE.
A PLE?
We had a premium live
PLE
event.
computers.
A premium
That's
live
right,
event.
That's right. This WWE event was brought to you by PLE computers.
No, but there was a Cinnamon Toast Crunch match.
Oh my god, seeing a wrestling match where all the screens are just covered in giant Cinnamon Toast Crunch branding was the funniest shit ever.
Oh, did you
time-
watch it, Brayden?
I watched the whole thing.
Live?
No, not live.
Okay, I didn't even watch it live. It was Father's Day.
Yeah. No,
I-
I've made it. I'm gonna make sure that I watch every PLE.
Thank you. They're not called pay-per-views anymore. They're premium live events.
Which is weird
Premium live
because
events.
growing up it was always pay-per-view.
Because yeah, the whole point is that you don't pay per view for them anymore. Because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that they changed it. It's just
everyone-
it's still weird.
everyone calls them pay-per-views, though. Everyone
Yeah,
makes a
I
mistake.
mean, yeah.
Well, it's like WWE's got a bunch of shit that they have they have specific words. Like they don't call them wrestlers, they call them performers or athletes or talent.
Yeah.
WWE
Yeah.
talent or superstars.
Superstars, yeah.
They're not fans, they're the WWE universe.
Oh my god, they said it like 50 times this
Yeah.
one. Oh my god.
Never hospital, always local medical facility. I'm not even kidding. So yeah,
I can't say
you
I've
gotta-
picked
You
up
gotta
on that
support
one,
your
but
local.
always support local.
So-
Support local. Never go big pharma.
we had Payback this week, and we'll run down the card here. Not off by heart because it's a
Of course.
beautiful, tight 6-match card, which was extremely refreshing.
All you need.
And
And it was still very long.
well, yeah, and it was almost just a glorified episode of Raw because we only had one match that was just a SmackDown only match. But we'll get to that. So we opened the show with the most surprising match of the year. Everyone thought this was going to be shit, but this ended up being the second best match of the night, which was Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratus in a steel cage match, which was designed to keep Zoe Stark out of the cage, which we know didn't work.
Yeah. But hilarious as a concept.
Now, Brayden, is this your first current steel cage match you've watched?
Yes.
Now,
and I was very confused.
That you can
to
just
start
open
with.
the door and get out?
There's an
Wait,
open door.
No, we're rewinding because I haven't obviously watched anything yet. No, the point of the steel cage is that you have to climb out.
Nope. So
not walk out.
Not even that.
Now there's a referee that stands by the door, and if one of the wrestlers just wants to walk out of the cage, they can and they will win.
I feel like
again, no, I disagree with that.
Oh,
entirely.
It is the dumbest thing in the world. It ruins the whole idea of a steel cage match.
It ruins any of the magic because any time that they're like that someone's done a big hit on someone and like
they just go to get out.
They're doing the recovering thing. You're just like
walk out.
If this was like if this wasn't entertainment, and if you want me to believe that this is a thing, why aren't they just leaving? They just walk out immediately. And it just kind of ruins a bit of the magic, but it was a great match. I thought it was good.
The best moment of it was when their use of it was when Zoe grabs Trish to try and pull her out, and Becky's got the other side of Trish trying to pull her in.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Which is fun. We got a great moment with two great moments with Becky just slamming the door closed and being like, "Nah, you're in here with me." And then she does it to both of them when they're Zoe and Trish are both in the ring. Becky closes it again. She's like, "I'm taking both of you on."
Yeah, that was fun.
Becky,
and she does,
proving why she's probably a top 5 performer in WWE. She's awesome. Trish Stratus proving she still got it.
Yeah, like again, it shocks me to no avail that in the year of our Lord 2023, I can hear the music of Trish Stratus' opening. That like, huh? Like what? That should be left back in like 2004. Like what's going on? But yeah, she still got it. She works her ass off out there. So
yeah, that was the match where obviously Becky won via pinfall, and we got the seed of a Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus feud that will be explored in the future. Wasn't explored tonight on Raw. I've watched Raw, and all we got tonight was a Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark match, where Zoe Stark lost to Shayna. Anyway, so match 2 was before the match started. We had the host of Payback come out, which was John Cena, who announced he would be the host the night before on SmackDown. Apparently, John Cena's just going to be hanging around WWE for a bit. I imagine it's because
of the strikes,
the actor strike.
Yeah, Hollywood's closed, so you got to do something. Again, like we said the other week, I'm surprised The Rock hasn't showed up.
I'm happy if The Rock doesn't show up.
Actually, you know what it is. The Rock's actually too busy teaming up with Oprah to act like they're donating to Hawaii funds, but they're actually just trying to get other people to donate for them.
Yeah.
It's very weird. That's a whole thing we won't get into here, but like that's worth looking into.
Cena came out and everyone loved Cena, so it was fun. And then it kind of led into him being the special guest referee in LA Knight versus The Miz, which was a lot of fun. And it ended with LA Knight winning and a bunch of John Cena interruptions, which is always good. So yeah, tonight on Raw we had The Miz coming out and hosting Miz TV as he always does, and he said he had a special guest, which was John Cena, and then the cameraman who needs to be paid more money. Did you see this, Brayden?
I did see this clip.
Where
I wasn't sure. I was watching it and I wasn't sure if it was a new thing, or if it was a joke they've done in the past.
No,
hearing that it's a new thing makes it so much better.
So tonight, The Miz introduced John Cena, where no one comes out, but the camera acts like they're following someone to the stage, and then The Miz has.
I saw the shadow wrestle part.
Yeah, and then The Miz has a little wrestling match with no one, and hits the skull crushing finale onto John Cena and throws him at the ring.
It is straight up. That whole sequence is a top 10 moment.
Well, The Miz is the best mic man in WWE.
Oh my god,
there's no one.
So
the only person better than The Miz or tied with The Miz is John Cena. So
yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah, Miz has practically built his career on being fantastic with the mic.
yeah, the Miz doesn't have to be great in the ring. He's yeah. So LA Knight won, and we're teeing up more the Miz, LA Knight, and John Cena nonsense in the future, which could be fun.
I've met the Miz before.
How
Ooh,
could that not be
he
fun?
came
Oh
to
my
play.
god.
But there was a price to pay. Anyway, so more
Payback.
importantly from this match in Payback. Oh, bye, Michael. More importantly from this match in Payback, we've got something pretty big in terms of what the WWE did, and it's the WWE showing that they have confidence in LA Knight's ability to be a superstar and go as high as he can in the company. And that was have John Cena endorse LA Knight by holding his hand up in the air at the end. Michael has got something.
Yeah, that was a fun. Is Michael gonna share his scrapbook? Oh,
Yeah, I saw that logo.
what? We got a fun little prop here. Oh,
You're
he's
muted.
he's on mute.
You're muted.
We'll give him a sec.
So I've met the Miz. I got his signature.
Nice. Who's the
That's
top one?
cool.
I think it's Maurice.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
But no, they were at Target at TDP one day, and I made my grandma stand in line so I could meet him, and I got this like WWE encyclopedia.
That's cool.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That's LA Knight in there? No, he wouldn't be.
No. Like this is like, yeah. The latest date, like the little bubbles go to, is 2000 to present, and the rest normally go in decades. So
Yeah.
it's before 2010.
Yeah, so John Cena kind of held up LA Knight's hand, and that was the WWE just showing everyone that, yep, we believe in him and we think he can go as far as he can. That's a pretty big endorsement of Cena to LA Knight.
That's a massive boost for LA Knight. Well, I mean, LA Knight's already commanding every arena he gets put in.
Mm-hmm.
So
everyone loves him.
It's them respecting that and being like, yeah, you've built yourself up. You've brought yourself to this place. We're going to acknowledge it.
Then we had Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory for the United States match. This is a fine match. Was the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
And it was fine. It was a bit of fun.
What was the one I missed out and you talking about?
It was still talking about LA Knight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this was a fine match. That's it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was hilarious. I was watching this and my dad walked into the living room and saw Rey Mysterio. He was like, "Is that Rey Mysterio now?"
He's still got.
Like,
yeah, he's got a dad bod now.
kicking.
He's a chunky boy.
He's got dad bod going, and it's only emphasized due to his height.
Yeah,
and the outfit that he goes with now. It's a whole thing.
So that was a fine match. We had Rey retaining and winning.
It was a fun ending. Them doing the whole he's countered the move that he won against last time, and then he countered again.
Then we had the best match of the night, which was the Pittsburgh City Street Fight. Steel City Street Fight. Yeah. This was the tag team champion match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Damian Priest. This match had it all. First of all, yes.
Oh man, it went everywhere.
It was a 5v1.
It was
5v2.
Wait, I was about to say, how did they get to 1?
Yeah, it was a 5v2.
Well, at one point, I was thinking Kevin Owens might have died.
Oh yeah, so Kevin Owens got cut on his head at one point.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the cut on his head.
Yeah, and had blood streaming down his face, which was always a bit of fun. But they seemed to quickly patch it up and keep going.
Yeah, they were very quick and subtle with doing that off camera, which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also took a real harsh swanton bomb.
Okay, so that swanton bomb was something that I did not expect to ever see. Was Kevin Owens going into the crowd and doing a swanton bomb from the crowd stands onto Dominic Mysterio, who was on a table.
It was very ECW.
Yeah.
It
was very AEW.
Yeah.
I need to watch this match.
It's a great match.
This was match of the night. This was incredible.
Because it's so fun. It just keeps going up and up and up and up.
Can they please at least split the fucking tag team champions up?
They might now, because we have new tag team champions by the end of this match.
Everyone's walking around with fucking 2 belts on them, and it just looks ridiculous.
Everyone's
these fucking belts everywhere.
It's so fun. The best is when Sammy comes out and he wears both of them.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, he's the only person that seems to do that when they had the two. He will just come out with both of them on.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, he's so fun.
Really shocked by this. Really didn't think that they were gonna. We thought that the reign of Sammy and KO was just starting, or was just like we're kind of peaking with it. We didn't expect it to end. But it was great. I was very happy with the result of this. It made Finn Balor a Grand Slam champion now. So
I did see that. I did see the post about that.
so that was a lot of fun. I love Damian Priest. I love Finn Balor. I love the Judgment Day. Keep giving him gold. Dominic Mysterio is maybe my favorite personality in WWE at the moment.
I loved how at multiple times in Payback,
He just comes. He's a little shit.
He reached the point where the commentators were like, "He's the MVP of the night."
Yeah.
Like every time he came in, he resulted in the match going better for his Judgment Day peers.
He hit Sami Zayn with the briefcase, which caused Finn Balor to pin Sami Zayn. He won that match for them.
He won the match.
Same with Rhea's match. He distracted her and they won.
Oh my god, great.
We'll
get to that in a sec.
So yeah, this was an awesome match.
You did also get Rhea spearing Kevin Owens through a barricade.
So much fun. Rhea coming out there. The hockey setup where...
Oh my god, the hockey bit was such a fun moment.
Where they turn around and then it's just Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn standing there in full hockey gear.
Because they knocked him into the penalty box.
Yeah. So,
which is such a funny gimmick. Like... And the two, it was such a cartoon moment that it was just, you couldn't help but like enjoy it.
Yeah. And then them tossing the gloves down.
With hockey sticks.
Then them tossing the gloves down to fight Dominic Mysterio.
Beat the hell out of Dominic, make him go backstage again.
Yeah. The Judgment Day is so much fun. They were on Raw tonight with all of their gold and Dominic Mysterio talking and the crowd just booing him. But now he just continues talking.
Yep, he knows to just keep going.
He just keeps going now, so that's still cool. A lot of fun. Sammy challenged him to a match tonight, and he said no. So then JD McDonough, the other non-official yet member of the Judgment Day, said I'll do it. And then JD beat Sammy tonight, but then there was some more shenanigans. I think Dominic came out again too, and and yeah, that was a lot of fun. After this match, we had my favorite WWE talk show that's currently on. It's called the Grayson Waller Effect. Grayson Waller may be my favorite up and coming WWE superstar at the moment because he's so much fun.
He is fun,
and he's very Australian, but he's not stereotypical Australian. He's just Australian.
Yeah, he's just like us.
Yeah,
like he's just a lad.
Mm-hmm.
He's out here talking shit on every town that he goes to.
The best. And then they had Cody Rhodes as a special guest, and I thought for a second they were just announcing that Cody was going to SmackDown, so that he could then start some stuff, and then eventually we get Roman and Cody again at WrestleMania. But it wasn't the case. It was actually to announce that Jey Uso is returning, but he's coming to Raw instead of SmackDown. Whereas main event Jey Uso. And then Grayson Waller just said the funniest thing, what we're all thinking, where he was like, "You've been gone for 2 weeks."
Yeah. Which is so funny. Just immediately like, you're making such a big deal out of this. This is hilarious.
And then tonight on Raw, Jey Uso, they opened the show with Jey Uso making an appearance, and they very much hinted a lot of people at Raw hate Jey Uso because he's done so much shit to them through the bloodline stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they kind of had Drew McIntyre come out and give him a stare down, and they had Riddle come out as well, give him a stare down to people that the bloodline kind of fucked over heaps.
Oh, I can't. I don't know what it is. I think it's.
I love Riddle.
I think it's wrestlers who wrestle without shoes on.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I think that's the thing that makes me like go like, what?
But you see, the thing why you probably don't love Riddle is because you weren't there for the Randy and Riddle time we had, where it was RK Bro. And it was brilliant. It was like Riddle is Riddle, and he's like a surfer bro dude. But he kind of brought out the best in Randy. Like Randy, you can tell
Okay.
Randy clearly cared about Riddle, and it
Yeah.
was great and it was awesome. But
Started
then,
like being on his side, protecting him and stuff.
yeah, but now Randy's been injured for a long time. Randy's been injured for 15 months.
Yeah, I was assuming that he was just done.
Nah, he has back injury, and they keep rumoring he's coming back, but he hasn't, and it's making us very sad because we really want RK Bro back because we love Randy. No one
man,
does.
that'll be a pop though when he does come back.
As a question about a superstar that I am a fan of, what's happening with Edge? Because obviously he had his 25-year thing.
That possibly was his final match against Sheamus.
Yeah, they made a massive deal.
They
of
made
that
a
on
big
his
deal about
socials and stuff.
Edge and Sheamus's match in his 25th anniversary night. It was in his hometown.
Yeah.
He fought. He's
Yeah.
probably his best friend in the current roster there, and yeah, they made a big deal out of it. It was really emotional.
Yeah, I
saw all the posts and stuff. I was meaning to like go back and actually watch that one because Edge
It's a good
was
SmackDown.
a very in like my prime of watching it. If like you had pretty much like
Rated RKO.
Randy Orton and Edge, you had Randy Orton punting everybody, and then you just had Edge just being a twat dating Vicky Guerrero. It was a time, but I don't know. It's weird because obviously he retired and then came back, and
That Rumble entrance is awesome.
Yeah.
So then we had
because his contract ran out, didn't it? Sorry.
Yeah. What? When?
Edges.
No, he got injured.
No, not initially. Like now.
Oh, what
like
now?
After the...
Now he just wants to retire. I think he's done.
Okay. That's
fair enough.
Yeah. So tonight, so then we had Rhea versus Raquel, and this was a fine match. It was nice to give them a lengthier match than Rhea normally has had. Something about just two big women going against each other, it just isn't that interesting. I think it really pairs well when you have more of an athletic, like smaller woman with Rhea. It's more fun.
The dynamic in the middle of the match was very much the sort of like testing zone where it was like, they were like shoulder checking each other and stuff, like trying to see who could knock who down. Like that's just what you're gonna get. I appreciated the China outfit.
Yeah.
That Rhea was rocking. That was fun to see a little callback to, one of the first like big women who started it for him.
Overall, it was a fine match. It was alright.
Dominic gets his hand asked to him.
Love Dominic coming in. Give me Dominic all day. Then we had the final match of the night, which was the World Heavyweight Championship between Shinsuke Nakamura and the champion Seth frickin' Rollins. Yeah, this was a match that...
Can I before we get into the actual match, the fucking like anime manga opening
of Shinsuke
was the most like overproduced hype thing ever. It was
so
great.
Shinsuke has wicked
Nah, he had a
Next
Yakuza
level.
boss anime like level intro.
Do they do the big like recap package, for someone like me who hasn't been keeping up week by week? Like they give you the whole like here's everything that's been happening, and making it like Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna murder him. Like that was the deal that.
But there was a whole thing with him like targeting Seth's back.
So throughout this match, it's very much a story told in ring battle. It's actually a pretty slow match. And it's mainly told with Shinsuke targeting Seth's back, and that was the big thing about this. It was just a slow match. I think the crowd also was kind of dead after the tag team match. They were pretty dead and shitty for this one, which didn't help. But yeah, so it was a slower match. We saw Seth retain, which was great. People really wanted Shinsuke to win, but they kind of, after the show ended for us, we saw this on Raw tonight. Shinsuke attacked Seth as Seth was walking back down the ramp. So there, and then tonight on Raw, it was all on Raw, where Seth really wanted a rematch with Shinsuke and offered to do a rematch tonight with the belt on the line. And Shinsuke looks at him and says no, and walks away. So they're definitely setting up more stuff. I think Shinsuke wants Seth to be in his his limit when he fights him again. So we're definitely getting Shinsuke and Seth again, which is great because I really wouldn't mind Shinsuke. I love Seth. He is my favorite wrestler currently on the roster. Him, Cody, LA Knight, Chad Gable, and Gunther.
Every clip I see of Chad Gable was the best. Oh my god.
They're my five. They're my 5 current wrestlers. I love them all. Dominic Mysterio is he's sitting at number 6.
Yeah, he's less there for his wrestling and he's more there for his.
Sammy, look, to be fair, Sammy would be up there too. I think Sami Zayn's awesome.
Yeah.
Seth's my boy, but Shinsuke, if I wouldn't mind Shinsuke, because it would be his last chance at holding a heavyweight title. Or just a major championship. So I would really like to see Shinsuke win at the end of this feud.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. They could really play into that whole that Yakuza boss style thing that they were going for him.
Yeah.
In all of the preamble to the match,
and they are heading that way.
Fun.
And then tonight on Raw, we had one. I'll only talk about the main event on Raw tonight because it was a pretty big one. It was the Gunther versus Chad Gable Intercontinental Championship match, which was awesome. The thing about this match and why it's not as great as it could be is because it has ads throughout it because it's on a Raw and all the wrestling on the weekly shows are split up by ads. So
wait, in the middle of the match?
Yeah. Yeah, you watch a weekly show and they go to ad break and then it comes back and the other wrestlers on is the dynamics changed and the momentum shifted. So yeah, it does hurt these big type of matches like this. Sometimes Raw will do at the first hour ad free and it's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gunther won tonight. And that solidified. Now Gunther will be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. He will be.
How far off is at the moment?
He's a couple days off now. By the time Raw comes next week, he'll beat it, which is why he will already get it. Previously held by the Honky Tonk Man.
And WWE just was to get away from that.
If you want to see the Honky Tonk Man, he has a.
Go to Alex's Discord.
My Discord photo is the Honky Tonk Man's nipple, only because the Honky Tonk Man has a website, and on that website he has his own store, and he sells a lot of his wrestling gear on the store, but in most of the photos he's holding it, he is shirtless.
That's the weirdest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's fantastic.
I don't know why, but I guess because he was an Elvis impersonator, I assumed that he was dead. Because Elvis is dead. That's a weird connection that my brain had made on its own. Trying to find
the Honky Tonk Man shirtless.
Bless. As you do that, what's the next? They advertised the next event.
It is Fastlane.
Fastlane. That's right.
Yes.
So we have that a month.
Yep. Yeah, October.
Yeah.
Here you go, guys. I've got a treat for you.
Oh boy.
It's the Honky Tonk Man selling his signed ukulele shirtless.
Lovely.
He looks like he's been through some shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're resorting to selling your
I love how he's just still got the hairstyle going.
Yeah, you can find it.
Oh, that's so funny.
It is very funny.
It's just very wholesome.
Man's just trying to sell his gear.
He just doesn't care, he's just trying to make a buck.
So you can buy all of this.
Oh my god, that's so
I thought about buying one of the $20 the $15 cards.
Just to get a print.
Yeah. He's selling his gear. He's got shirts on here, but
that's hilarious. Oh, yep, just buy the Honky Tonk Man's underwear. That's a
ring worn singlet.
Oof.
Or you got his ring worn gear for $13,000.
Whoa! God damn.
That's the Honky Tonk Man for you.
Do you think there's? I know there's lots of Elvis impersonators, but is there a Honky Tonk Man impersonator?
Well, that's just ridiculous, Brayden.
That's
How
too many
far's too
layers
far?
deep.
Should I put a
We're
bid on the Honky Tonk
in the
Man's-
Inception level of Honky Tonk Man.
Should I put a bid? No, can't. $15.
It's a nice one. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame card.
$15 US.
It is.
Oh, he doesn't do it. Buy it now for just signed prints.
Nah, you got a bid.
What?
Anyway, that's it. That's that. That's what.
That's it. That's the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for episode 218 of MMT Millennium Movie Talk, a movie and TV show podcast with a nice little wrestling twist at the end. You can follow us on your podcast service of choice. If you can, leave a review over there. That'd be wonderful. You can subscribe over on YouTube and like and leave a comment and all that jazz over there. You can follow us on your socials of choice. We're probably not on them, but hey, give it a go. You can add Michael on Facebook.
Do it, pussies.
Please. I'm begging at this point.
As always,
I'm Alex.
I'm Brayden.
And I'm Michael.
And we're out of here. You fucking.
I'll get on my
losers.
knees.
Oh, get on your knees, Michael.